Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back. Queen Osset here. Today I am going to do a hopefully quick walkthrough of another deck that has been put out by or produced by Llewellyn. And hopefully, I think this is the third deck in this trio, and hopefully it will be the last one. So the first deck that came out as part of this grouping was this one. Let me see, where's the box cover? Here we go. You know, it came in a regular size box. That's what it looks like. I did not do a walkthrough of it. I can show you some of the cards real briefly. Okay, and I'm showing you these cards for a reason. So this deck is called The Witch's Wisdom, Barbara Michael John Free, Flavia Kate Peters, and then illustrated by Richard Crooks. And they are also the ones that did the Wisdom of the Ancients Oracle deck, which I absolutely love. Okay, and it's no secret how I feel about this one. Remember? See the imagery? I'm showing you this for a reason. Okay, even though, yeah, but you can still make it out. Yes? Okay. So the third deck in this series is, let's just get to it. Fairy Godmother. Look closely. Okay? Is that imagery as, well, this is my first complaint. See how clear that image is, the photography. We have this deck now. So Fairy Godmother Oracle, Flavia Kate Peters, and the artwork is by Dhemiah, Meacham. All I can say is I'm glad that this is the last in this series. Okay. On the back of the box, it says it's 40 cards. It's 40 cards with a guidebook. In this often topsy-turvy world of almost daily emotional highs and lows, a kind word in the air or a golden nugget of advice and support is something we all need and often lack in our lives. So allow yourself, again, to sense the wisdom of your fairy godmother. Each card will speak to you of emotions, methods, and magic that connects you with the elements, mystical realms, and eternal spirit to bring about a more powerful sense of positivity, change, and growth in your life. Of course, this oracle contains 40 cards full of fairy godmother wisdom and magic, key focus words, a detailed guidebook on how to use the information, simple spreads, easy to remember and repeat invocations, and a full-page reading message with tips, advice per card. Great. All of that information is fantastic. And of course, you know the guidebook. Let's see here. Fairy Godmother. How often have you felt ignored, unappreciated, misunderstood, unsupported, discouraged, or unsafe? In those moments, we need someone to reassure us, to tell us that things are all right, that our feelings of loneliness and abandonment are valid. If only there was someone who truly understood and supported us with the right kind of advice, effective instruction, and wisdom. Someone who has your best interests at heart. Someone who thinks you're pretty awesome. Your very own fairy godmother. So far, so good, right? So it goes on to say everyone's heard of a fairy godmother, blah, blah, blah. Your fairy godmother's been around since the birth of magic. She's the goddess in disguise and can come in the guise of, let me see, of the triple aspects of maiden, mother, or crone, depending on what is called for. In the days when the old ways were honored, the wise women of the village would take young maidens from their homes as their apprentices and teach them how to work with herbs and with the magic of nature. Empowerment is her gift. She offers the chance for new life, new beginnings, and changes through the magical act of transcendence, if you only ask. However, the fairy godmother is not a soft touch, for she brings with her great lessons and unveils harsh truths in order for you to let go of anything or anyone who's holding you back and to learn and discover a whole world of possibilities, of freedom, and of magic. So I'm loving the words. I'm loving the words of empowerment. Um, let's see. When your fairy godmother turns up, she will listen, and although she will always lend a sympathetic ear, you can be sure that she will get to the root of the problem. As she works with you, she will unearth hidden emotions that have been festering, such as jealousy and anger. These agitations will be exposed, and you will have no choice but to learn how to deal with them. But don't be alarmed, for this will be when your fairy godmother is walking every step of the way with you and holding your hand. She encourages you to dig deep to get to the bottom of the feelings that have prevented you from receiving all that you have desired. And, it's, wow. These words, these words, this book that has been written, I think that Flavia is probably the author, because that seems to be the general trend across the board. These words of empowerment are very uplifting. I feel like they would provide some sort of guidance for us, keep me interested. Let's see. The fairy godmother is a force to be reckoned with. She presents powers of extremity in the highest form and presides over destiny as she spins her web of fate. Often portrayed in films and fantasy as the all-powerful wise woman, she is devastatingly attractive, with a little help from her magical powers, of course. Think Disney's Maleficent, Snow White's Wicked Queen, or Narnia's White Witch. Okay, so, hey, not inclusive, but what are you gonna do, right? Um, let's see. These badass girls can whip up a storm with a snap of their perfectly manicured fingers and take control of the situation through their demands and management of an invisible source called energy. How often have you watched and secretly wished that you could summon the same authoritative power? Imagine being able to work your magic with the same effective control and have the courage to step into your omnipresent abilities whilst donning a rather fabulous robe at the same time. No longer will you feel inadequate, unworthy, or fearful. Of course, these Disney characters are taken from the crone expression of the goddess. If you are brave, want adventure, and are prepared to lose all that you hold dear in return for the awakening to whom you really are, then this fairy godmother will slip you a pill that will reveal the reality of the matrix. But be warned, for this is the true path of no return. So, I do like what it says here about, the discussion that I've been doing so far. However, every fairy tale has battles between good and evil, and your fairy godmother may wish to encourage you to recognize and work with your shadow self. In magic, there is a place and a purpose for the dark, for every hero and heroine is required to stumble through the dark forest, blinded for a time as they confront the darkness, until they discover the light and their happy ending. So, of course, hearing about this and doing shadow work, wanting to focus on that, it piqued my interest. So, you have directions here how to use the deck. Sit comfortably, shuffle the deck, and it's important to clearly state what you wish to be enlightened about. For example, I wish to have the courage to come out of the closet. I wish to resolve an issue with my family members. I need help as to where I should be investing my energy. And then when you feel ready, pull a card in front of you. So, of course, we have some sample spreads. We have a 3-card spread. And one of the things I like, I'll show you on the back of the card, is the fairy star spread, and that's what the back of the card looks like. Okay, and then we go on to having the card messages, and everything is in alphabetical order. So the Witch's Wisdom deck has the Pentacle on the back. Try to get some of that glare out of there. And this gorgeous, look at that mirror finish. Gorgeous gilding on the side. And as I said, let me just show you a few cards. Tracey over at Two Rocks, she uses this deck. She loves it. I don't know if I'll use it, but that's the imagery for the Witch's Wisdom. Put that in the box here. And of course, you know, the Dark Goddess deck. That symbol on the back. Silver gilding, yes. Gorgeous. Again, we're not going to look at these again. I'm not going to do that to myself. I can put those away. And now, of course, we have the Fairy Goddess. Or Fairy Godmother, rather. Can you make out what that is on the front of the box? It's a pumpkin with, is that supposed to be Cinderella? Anyway, hard box, etc., etc. We'll get on with it now to the cards. Oops. Okay. This deck, however, has gorgeous gold gilding. Love it. And on the back of the cards, you have the fairy star. So now, I'm going to show you the cards one by one. Paper stock. Typical Llewellyn. Thin. You know, I guess it'll aid shuffleability. But what really has my interest peaked are the images. Now, I'm holding this really, really close because I don't think you can see the imagery without me holding it up like this. It's maybe not as clear to me in person. So I want you to get a close look at everything. Maybe you can make things out. There's a lot going on, I think. Here's one, authenticity. I'm not going to do much talking. I just want you to look at the cards. Trying to figure out, is that a good, that's a good shot. Let's see if I can turn it this way. Fortuity. I mean, this deck is, I had no expectations. It's keeping within what my idea of the fairy godmother from the Westerners' point of view is. It's the drawings are, in my mind, they have that fairy tale, juvenile, cutesy sort of look. I mean, again, we'll see what message we'll get when I'm done. Knowledge. Laughter. Here we go. Trying to get that glare off. I don't know if moving this would be better. It's a little bit better. Perception. I love the mirror image. This might be a good deck for shadow work. We'll have to see. Rejection. Is that Maleficent? I'm not too caught up on my Disney characters and movies and all of that. Good grief. Rejuvenation? Okay. Romance. I think Rejuvenation seems to be the one card that has that modern air, that modern look. I think everything else I've looked at so far has had a fairy tale connection or quality. Truthfulness. Venture. Victimhood. How about that? Vulnerability. Wisdom. And wish. So every card here has, as I said, a fairy tale quality, except for this one, Rejuvenation. That Ken and Barbie on the beach. Okay. All right. So let's do a card pull and see what the Fairy Godmother has for us for the rest of this week. Okay, Fairy Godmother, I am asking, what is it that we need to know to take advantage of this, let's say, new moon energy for our highest good? Fairy Godmother, what advice do you have to share with us that we can take advantage of during this new moon energy that we are currently experiencing? Let me give it one more shuffle. And let's see. I'm only going to pull, well, because I'm curious to see what the book has to say. And oh, wow. Just from that shuffling already, I've got chipping happening right there. Okay. Did I say this deck was put out by Llewellyn? Llewellyn, please, just stop. Okay. And the card that I have for us is Knowledge. Let me get the guidebook and let's see what it has to say. Hold that up. Read a book. Absorb each word. Cognize the facts. Senses stirred. Understand to comprehend. Know the details. Don't pretend. Claim the power never to fail. Discover the truth. You know, oh, this is a poem. This is an invocation. All right, let's try this again. Read a book, absorb each word, cognize the facts, senses stirred, understand to comprehend, know the details, don't pretend, claim the power, never to fall, discover the truth, you know it all. And the Fairy Godmother's message is, stop a minute, take a long, good look at what it is you are about to get into. I strongly advise you dig a little deeper and investigate thoroughly before making what could quite possibly be a very wrong decision. Now you must recognize and accept that your ignorance nearly led you into a grave situation without taking any precautions whatsoever. You clearly misread the situation and did not see the warning signs. Don't be sad that this is an opportunity lost or feel the fool. Just realize that you were too inexperienced at this time to make the right judgment. Life is all about learning, and this is one of those lessons that you will be able to draw from in the future. When another opportunity does come along, you will be a little wiser from this experience and will know how to deal with it differently. It's a good time to expand your mind through further education, studying, and books. A new career path beckons, as does your desire to learn. A whole world of discovery is yours for the taking. Knowledge gives the facts to you. It incites opinion and enables you to judgment or to use judgment with discernment. Knowledge is power. It is a well-known basis for improving reputations and influence as you share what you know, increasing your potential and abilities. Be warned. There may be someone who is reluctant to share information, believing that you have some form of advantage over you by withholding. You too may be holding on to important details that you need to impart. It would be much better for you if you came clean right now, as you could be in danger of becoming discovered and could be subjected to an inquisition. Let's see if there's anything more. Ooh, that's a lot of information. No. So, we're in the Scorpio energy where a lot of things that have been beneath the surface are coming to the top to look at. Scorpio's ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. Now, the death really is about letting go of those things that no longer serve your growth and purpose. So the Fairy Godmother says that learn more about a situation before you get in it, and don't be afraid to share what you know. I always say everyone has something that they can teach another person. Do not think that you are not qualified enough or you don't know enough, that you need to have a huge amount of certifications or parchment and all of that before you can share yourself. Don't be afraid to open up. You'll be surprised. You have an exchange with another human being and you learn something about that person and that person can learn something about you. So, with that, I am complete. I hope you enjoyed this rather quick walkthrough. The 3 decks on my bookshelf, let's see, will look like that. Is that upside down? No. Oh, wait. I guess I could do it. The Witch's Wisdom doesn't have the Llewellyn mark. You see, like those? The moon. It would have been nice if they kept it consistent. But, what are you going to do? Not a bad deck. Maybe good for, really good for shadow work. You know, it's a different point of view. Again, I'm not really sure about the imagery per se, because I really can't see it. I'm not familiar with the stories, but the verbiage. I'll sit down and work with this a little bit. This is the one card that really bugs me. I think this is the one card that does not belong in there. We have to find something better for that. But I am going to sign off for now, and I shall talk with you all later. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.